my dear ones. This is a timeless, near personal love and spirituality reading for whomever is guided to watch it with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. This reading in particular is sponsored by Laura Stafford Wise. Take note that the reading can be in the reverse for some of you. If you need more information or help after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for Aries season that is up, or you can check out the pick a card and near personal readings on the first page of my channel. And I'll start shuffling your cards, and I use the Tarot of the Cat People with Karen Kuykendall. Okay, exciting. So when I open your deck here, I see the Nine of Pentacles in the reversed together with the Page of Wands. So you are on a spiritual quest, but you might feel a little bit lost at this time. It feels almost like you're not getting the rewards that you expected, but you're trying to stay strong and trying to enjoy life, even if it's not kind of giving you what you wanted at this particular time. So you're keeping your spirit up in a hard time, we can say. Okay. So I call the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have the Knight of Swords together with the Nine of Pentacles. So this might be someone that you are dealing with, might be a Gemini, Aquarius, or a Libra person. And it's a very courageous person that is very intellectual and also have a very clear mindset. But they sometimes can be a little bit headstrong, like if they see things in a certain kind of way, that's how it is, and you can't change their mind. And still the Nine of Pentacles are in the reversed, so it might be, I'm feeling like someone has given logical reason to why they abandoned you. The Nine is connected to the Hermit, so it's about aloneness, separation, being with yourself, to kind of get to know yourself. So I think this person has left you in that kind of state to get to know yourself and be for yourself, probably because they wanted to reach this state, is what I'm feeling here. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we have Five of Cups together with the Nine of Pentacles in the upright position. So I'm feeling when you were together, the relationship wasn't really happy. Either you were together as a romantic couple, or there was this family situation, friendship situation, workplace situation. So when you are together, or when you were together, it's not really happy. It's kind of fruitful in a way. It's giving something. Maybe it's giving healing, or it's giving money, or it's giving some... maybe there's a creative project which is successful due to this combination, but people are emotionally not happy in this situation. Okay, so I call the six elements, and here we have the Four of Swords with the Nine of Pentacles. So this emotional, this satisfaction, even if things were working out fine on a surface level, on a deep emotional level, things wasn't working out for either one of the parties in this situation. So one person seems to have logically disconnected. It doesn't have to be the Knight of Swords that we saw. It can actually be you. Well, it's usually like this. When one person displays a certain behavior in a relationship, it might be that we are supposed to learn this behavior, or either we will actually show this behavior because we get at some point sick and tired of how this other person behaves. Sorry for my printer is acting up. So for example, if they acted cold towards you, now you're acting cold towards them, to be very clear with this. Okay. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear viewers. So I want you all to have love in your life and to find yourself in loving situations, so loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So I said loving situations. I'm thinking about this with situationship instead of relationship. that maybe you had this kind of situationship with someone, and this wasn't giving you emotional contentment. So that might be the case for some of you, that there was a heartfelt relationship for one, and maybe more a situationship that was not really heartfelt by the other, because the other person might have been more logic and disconnected from their heart region. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in here for a few seconds to you and your situation. Okay, so I'm actually getting some instructions to do the Celtic cross. It's a very popular spread that I have used most of my life, but I haven't really used it on this channel. I don't think I have used it at all. Maybe because I have gotten sick and tired of it. Okay, but I will do it. So this is your new bottom of the deck, and it's the devil in the reverse. So it seems like a situation where you are trying to take yourself out of a situation which might have felt self-destructive. We can have been codependent, addicted, or just emotionally not satisfied, okay, because of maybe someone wasn't playing by the rules, or someone was not acting in a way that had the capability of fulfilling your needs and desires. Sometimes a person can have two people can have very different needs. Okay, so this is the old bottom of the deck, and it's the Four of Pentacles in the reversed. So I got two insights that came like immediately, and the first was that someone was holding on too hard on their own ego and their own boundaries, and then you just drop them, you just let them go, or you disengage yourself in a way. Okay, so this is the situation. This is what supports this situation. This is the challenge this situation. This is your subconscious knowing, and this is your what you know on a mind's level, like what you are aware of clearly, not subconsciously. This is your past, and this is your future. So I'll check if everything is being able to be visualized. Yes, you can see everything. This is what you contribute with to this situation, and this is what you are met with from other people or from your partner, for example. This is hopes, and this is fears, and here we have the result, and it's 3 cards for the result, because I think that gives more understanding. Okay, so able to see it? Yes, amazing. So I will just push these a little bit so it becomes more in sync. Okay, so I want to check your situation to start with, and here we have the Page of Swords in the reverse. So I feel that this is the headstrong person that you are dealing with. Even if you are an air sign, this might be the other person, even if they are not an air sign. So I'm reading for you, but sometimes it can be in the reverse. You can be this person here, and so I'm feeling that. Oh, I actually feel that both of you were in this kind of situation where you had to kind of deal with childhood issues, and how you hadn't been listened to, heard, or understood by people in your surrounding. You actually had been silenced. People have kind of put a gag on you to not speak your truth or say your truth in a different way. So maybe even sharing the truth of how you felt about things. And this might have put like a edge or wedge, I don't know, like a thing between you and this person that you're obviously dealing with, because both of you had this kind of notion that you felt like no one listens, no one understands, no one can see my point of view. So both of you became very self-protective and saw the other person a little bit as an enemy, and both of you might have acted a little bit out your childhood wounds or teenager wounds. I'm feeling it's a little bit like, it's almost like both of you are teenagers, but I guess you're older. And this was very healthy, actually. You had to meet this person to be able to start to look at these kind of things. How was I treated in my childhood? What kind of effect did it have on me? What kind of things have like been left in me because of this? Can I speak my mind? Can I decide my own, take my own decisions? Can I go in the direction I want? Can I ask for what I want? Things like this. So I think one of you might have acted a little bit more rebellious, and the other person might have acted a little bit more almost begging or trying to be under. It's almost like going to a parent that can't love you and ask them to love you. So that is what I'm feeling from most of the people that I'm reading for. Okay, and this is what supports this situation. Oh, and we have a 10 of Swords. So what supports this situation right now seem to be that it ended, okay? It needed to end for the reason I just told you, that you kind of rebelled towards how you have been treated in the past, that no one was supposed to treat you like this anymore. So you had to put an end to it. When we are children, we are very, very unconditionally loving towards our caretakers, our parents and such, and we give them our all, and it's not likely that a small child that's being, for example, abused will run away any great amount of distance from their parents, even if it's the risk for their life. I'm not saying that you have been in this situation, but I'm just trying to explain this with how much a child is dependent on their parent. So they actually stay in these situations, even if it's horrific or horrible. And sometimes it's not that horrible that you should be separated from your family. It's just that you needed maybe someone that could support you and be the grown-up voice, so you didn't have to be so small in front of these big people. So you might have needed someone like a family friend or one of the parents or an older sibling to say, no, we need to listen. She is sad right now, and we have made her or him like this, and we should have listened better, and this is what I see. So I feel like you didn't have someone on your side, but now if you have ended this situation, even if both of you in this partnership was kind of in the same boat, you had the same problems in the background is what I'm seeing, you still needed to put an end to this situation, to show that you have disconnected yourself from people that you love unconditionally, but that actually hurts you. So that was something that was supportive. It might feel like it wasn't nice at all, and it was a horrible thing that you had to do, to walk away maybe from your best friend or from your partner or even these parents maybe. And you didn't want to do it, but you had to do it. And that is supportive towards you. When people that if people are unconditionally loving towards an abuser, they will stay and continue being abused. You put an end to it is what I'm seeing here. So this is the challenge in this situation, and we have the Knight of Cups. So I'm getting like almost sadness rising my chest and up to my throat. So it's the love, okay? We still feel the love, and we still want to fix it. We just want them to be nice and love us and fulfill our needs and all these kind of things. So that is a little bit of a challenge. We had to put an end to it, and the love still lingers. This unconditional love, it still lingers. And it's also a challenge that the other person might not be able to show love towards us at this time. As little as maybe our first role model for love was able to show this to you, it's the same situation. It hasn't changed. The only thing that have changed is that you put an end to it here, and that's what's supporting you. So this is what's going on, like subconsciously. And we have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So it seems like a big part of you is very pissed off. It's a very, I'm feeling like a grand soul, a beautiful soul with a lot of capacity has been diminished or made very small, and it's like beneath you in some way. So if you feel anger now, that's all right. It's better to be angry than to be depressed. So it's a higher vibration, actually. So also your anger might be able to help you to stand up towards bullies and such. So don't feel like this is the demon on your shoulder. It's actually your strength that can help you. It comes in the reversed, and I'm not totally sure as of why. I'm just feeling like you're a little bit temperamental maybe, but there might be another explanation as well. And we have the World card here. Okay, so it seems like you're not listening 100% on your own wisdom, which might be, for example, rage. It can come as rage. I mean, you're really angry. It doesn't mean violence. Violence is not highly vibrating, but it can come as holy rage, kind of. And it seems like you have this know-how, but you have a little bit trouble of using it because you think that it's this demon on your shoulder, when it actually is your soul's like big library of experience that coming like to your knowledge by rage, sadness, or an epiphany of some sort, which you seem to maybe push aside a little bit. Maybe you think it's not right, or you are not supposed to behave like that, or you should not be as angry, or you shouldn't be so sheep, or you shouldn't be so over dramatic, or whatever it is. But when these subconscious feelings comes to you, they come to you with vast knowledge, and it's the connection that you have with like the subconscious of everyone. So it's going on a discussion between you and this other person, for example, also underneath the radar. So the subconscious energy that comes up maybe in the shape of you don't feel like this situation is right, but you're trying to behave or be nice, but this you feel that it's not right. It's because of some conclusion that you have made in the subconscious, something that you know, your soul knows, and try to communicate to you. But it might be, since this is in reverse, that you try to suppress it because you want to behave nice. Okay. And this is what you're aware of. And we have the Four of Wands. So Four of Wands is a card of self-love. When you love yourself, you can also love others. It's about marriage, having, a nice time together with your peers, living together with them, maybe in some very homey environment and such. And with the Four of Wands, I think this is what you want, but you don't have it, and you're aware of it. And here you had to sacrifice this dream about this home or this union together with others. It's a very, even if it's a connection card, like people are being connected, and both spiritually, emotionally, romantically, and also by maybe finances and what they own. For example, they have a common house. It's still a card of freedom because it has never really walls in it, or the people are not being contained by walls. You're able to come and go as you please. It's the bonds between the people, the love and the warmth that makes them come home every time. And it might be that you feel like you lack this kind of connection with this person in particular, or with people in general. But you're working on your self-love here with the Queen of Wands, Four of Wands. So for this time being, it seems like you had to sacrifice maybe these more social situations and the warmth of having a home together with these people, and to kind of choose yourself. And this is the past, and we have the Star card, so it kind of shows that you are guided to do this. You were guided to do this big sacrifice that hurt probably not only you, but also the other people involved. But it was some kind of it was a freedom in this, to be able to finally do the things you couldn't do because love bound you to a person or situations that wasn't entirely nice. We wanted their love, or we wanted their approval so much that we stayed in a situation that was not worthy of us. And here the divine says you can't stay, you need to sacrifice this situation. And it seems like you did or about to do it. Maybe you still are controlling yourself and not listening to the world and the star that comes and wants to make you do this big change. And this is the future. And we have the Seven of Wands. So Seven of Wands is Leo in March. So it means being in your own authority and having warrior energy. So standing up to your adversary, standing up to the bullies, standing up for yourself and for this energy that comes from the subconscious. I'm allowed to feel like this. I'm allowed to have this opinion. I'm allowing myself. And it doesn't really matter if other people takes it particularly well, because if that's not the case, it seems like you will sacrifice them. Okay, so this is you. And we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So you don't feel particularly set on cooperation at this time. You rather kind of tearing situations down than building them up. You have tried before to cooperate with other people and to make something that could be beneficial for your future, but it doesn't seem like you're applying yourself to this anymore. And it goes very well with the rest here that says do not cooperate for the sake of your love or for your dreams, because what you need to learn first is to listen to yourself, your own intuition, your own feelings, and to be able to sacrifice situation around them due to this own inner authority. And this seems to be what you are doing, that you're sacrifice situations because of what your inner authority tells you. And it doesn't always have to go this far, because if people around you are seeing that you're not particularly cooperative at the moment, it might be that they will start to cooperate a little bit more to help you out. So in loving families, loving friendship, loving relationship, this is of course what's going to happen. If you had sacrificed yourself a lot in the past and you're now saying, no, I'm not going to do this anymore, loving people will change and adjust. But not all our relationship will be like this. And those are the situations I think you will not work on in the future. You will not put effort into this. So this is people from the outside. And we have the Five of Cups here in the reverse. So it seems like these more troublesome relationships that you're in, where people are not listening to each other and try to help or always improve themselves. In these relationships, I feel that there's a person here that is trying to get over you or trying to be able to move away from their feelings for you due to your lack of putting in effort into this situation. So it wasn't really nice before, but they have also trouble to kind of get over the situation. So it seems like they are a little bit stuck in the energy. They don't want to be stuck. They want to move on since they feel like you have moved on, but it's something that's a little bit destructive. Oh, okay, it's a contract. You have some kind of soul contract. So it points a little bit to my other reading. It's not over until it's over, that there's still some kind of contract between you two. Maybe this person is also supposed to admit that your love there's a bond between you two, because you can see these cards are very similar with this circle behind. Maybe you felt like you were trying to train them into become better people. I don't think they wanted to be trained, so they're trying to stand up to your ask for change and to disconnect themselves from you and walk away. But I'm not feeling that they are able to due to some contract between you two. Probably this person, I said that they had a problem with their heart chakra before. Probably their heart chakra is supposed to open so that they can do what loving people do. If there's a problem in a relationship, we do adjustments, we change, we take more consideration, we become nicer towards the person. Or if we know that one person in our family are, for example, sensitive towards eating with your mouth open. I'm taking simple things here. Then you don't do that because you want them to be able to eat together with you, and you don't want them to feel nauseated or do not be able to enjoy their dinner. But you're also talking with them about maybe they need to look into why they have this problem. And it's usually some underlying causes to people having these kind of issues. But if we love them, we take care of their issues, but we're also challenging them to grow. We are considerate, but we challenge them to grow. And this is what's normal. But I feel in this relationship isn't really normal. That maybe it was so easy for this other person to sacrifice you, and therefore you couldn't sacrifice them. But eventually you did. And now you're not cooperating, but it's still this contract between you. Okay, so this is your hopes. And we have this Page of Wands again. So your soul is very eager to fix this, to fulfill their part of the contract, and to do what the Spirit set out to do in this lifetime. So you still have hope. You still think that you can fix it, that you can make this monkey dance, that you can, we should be able to give other people instructions for how we want to be treated. They are supposed to be able to take them and change. But I feel in this situation, this didn't happen. So you don't feel like you are listened to. So you just stop invested in the situation. But the situation is still there due to some contract, and you still have hope that maybe this person will turn into a more loving person that will actually be able to do these normal things in a relationship, to be able to listen and change. It goes both ways, of course, but I feel like maybe you have already done it and they haven't. And the fears is Two of Swords in the reverse. So Two of Swords is Libra. This looks also like Libra due to the scales. And so I'm thinking the fear is that it can take a lot of time, that it will be a stale, like nothing will happen. People will not communicate, people will not try, and it will just, the bond will be there, and it will be there, and it will be there, and it won't go away until this person admits to what's in their heart and makes the changes. So I think your fear is to be stuck in this situation forever with no control whatsoever on what's being done, because it's not your step. The next step isn't your step. You've already done your step with the Ten of Swords here and the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's up to the other person to make steps. So it leaves your soul in an anticipation. It wants to continue, fulfill its contract. But there's an energy that has, the power of control right now. And they are not seeing to use it to make the situation more favorable. So it can be a lot of wasted time here, is what I'm seeing. And this is the result. And the first card is the Eight of Cups. I usually read these together because it's the result that's together. It's all the same. And we have the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. So 8. What I'm feeling is that the other person is stably, still there. Almost like they are your husband or your wife in a sense, or they're still your father, they're still your mother, they're still your sister, your brother, your best friend. With the Eight of Cups, it's almost like they want to return to you, but they can't say it. So that's the stale. And that's this stale is of course making your soul a little bit frustrated, but they seem to not have the tools to tell you that they want to fix the situation. They just think that they need to wait until the love blows over and they can, forget about this. I think they have a certain amount of pride that makes them not being able to communicate what's in their heart, that they still feel very loyal to you. They want to return. They can't communicate this because of pride. And this pride, sometimes the ego is the only thing a person has. If they don't know their soul, they think they are their ego. So if they lose a battle of will, for example, they will die. But it's just the ego's fear of dying. The person is not going to die because they admit defeat. or they admit that they love you, the only thing that's going to happen is that the ego dies and they become more humble souls. Souls is the key word here, because they, instead of the ego, they will be their soul. But for them, it's like standing on an abyss and like asked to jump over, and they think they will die, and they think this is a bad idea to die like this. So they don't want to do it. So they are standing there and kind of being persuaded to jump, but they don't jump because they think they are going to die. So I'm going to take a card for that. So we can say that the divine is working on this person, trying to convince them that it's a good idea to make the jump. All these swords and all these armors and the tough attitude will die in the jump, okay? What will be left is more their loving soul, okay? I think like this would be what would be left, like a person that would be more loving. And they are so fearful of doing this, and they don't want to lose their sword and their tough attitude. But the divine is trying to help them to make this jump and make this happen. But no one can say like the timeline for this. For me, as a tarot reader, it seems to have gone on forever. But so it can start to become a little bit interesting to read the same situation from different angles over and over. But it's nothing more we can do than to, I guess, wait for the divine to do their work with this person and persuade them that it's only their ego that's going to die. They are not going to die. It's actually going to make them more happy, because when a person is trying to be in control and trying to win, a lot of effort is going into that. When you see that, well, it's not important, you can actually come into a state of self-love where you're very content and peaceful, regardless of if people love you or don't love you, if you win over them or they win over you or whatever. You will become more like, oh, it's nice, whatever, because I am content and happy. So when we lose the ego a little bit, we need it still. In other case, you wouldn't be pissed off when people are treating you badly, but there's a balance. I think like one person is extreme in this, and it's a pendulum swinging, and eventually it's going to be balance in the middle, and that is what's hoped for from a divine perspective. So we are supposed to have a little bit of ego. In other case, souls would stop eating and they wouldn't really tend to themselves. They would sit and be happy underneath the hulupu tree, and they wouldn't care for taking care of their body. So it's necessary to have like a little bit will of survival and taking care of oneself and having boundaries. So it's important to have an ego, but not in the extent that this person has it. So their big fat ego would die and would probably be replaced with a more healthy ego that will see to that they take, maybe it would be even better for them, because I think this person is putting a lot of effort into playing tough, but maybe not really taking care of themselves. Maybe eating junk food and drinking too much and speeding with their car and other things that's actually self-destructive. So it's a big duality here, which we can also see in the Two of Swords and the Six, that there's a balance and it's wobbling back and forth between two extremes. So leave this person up to the divine, and they can deal with this. So what are you supposed to do in the meantime? So we'll see. Goddess of the Moon, Healer of the Ages. We have one more, Door to Value, but it's in the reversed. So it says that you cannot have the thing you want at this time. So this is what you need to focus on. Healer of the Ages and Goddess of the Moon, which I think is this might be the Jesus kind of power that you have worked with, unconditional love. And you have also been affected a lot by the subconscious here and by streams in the subconscious. So I think this all is about getting to know oneself much better, understand one's own feelings and one's own motives to have this unconditional love that got you in trouble in the first place. Like the child being unconditionally loving towards their parents, even if they are not good caretakers, or the wife being, sorry for my voice, loyal towards their abusive husband, or vice versa. So it comes from this kind of energy, but this energy didn't contain only that. It had other parts too, and those parts wants to come through now in the shape of Queen of Wands here in the reverse. And you need to start listening to it. You need to start listening to your emotions, and when they tell you things are wrong, it's wrong. And start making a fool of yourself. Tell people like, no, I don't like this. I don't want to be treated like this. Or tell yourself, this is not all right. I need to change this situation. So let yourself be a little bit more free to acknowledge what you're feeling, and to kind of investigate that, because this energy, it has more bottoms. It has more to give you than just this turn the other cheek kind of thing. And it wants to come through here, and it wants to come true by you displaying it or acting it out in your life. And I think rest can be a very good time at this point. It might be why we are going through this lockdowns that going through in the society right now, because of this virus being spread. So I'm thinking that it might be like there's a certain energy wants to come through, and you need to be in stillness and silence, and taking it like being careful with yourself, staying at home, doing low energy stuff, because this energy wants to come through. So this energy wants to come through as well, but most of you will be having this energy to work with, and it can be very tiresome. And if you like notice that you're being prevented from working or putting in effort into things, even if you have this ignition that you want to do those things, maybe take another lap with your thinking process, and think, do I really need to do this today? Can I maybe do it another day? Because I'm feeling like this is very special energy wants to come through, and it can be very exhausting for your system, like your alive system, not for your soul. It can take whatever, but your alive system can get a little bit damaged from this high energy that's coming through. So you need to have a little bit of a low activity level at this time. So that's what I'm feeling. So I'll show you this a little bit from above, so you will be able to see it properly. Okay. I hope this was helpful, and if you want to support my channel, you can do so by watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. You can also click my ads or watch them for 30 seconds or to the end of the ad, whichever comes first. That is keeping my humble revenue up, so that I can still free up time to make content for you on this channel. And I want to thank you so much in advance. I'm truly grateful for my wonderful and loving viewers. And if you need more information or clues after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for Aries season that is up, or the pick a card and near personal readings on the first page of my channel. You can click my little Queen of Cups icon here, and you will come to the first channel page. They will see different readings that can clarify situation. You can also go to the playlist section and see more of the videos being displayed. On the first channel page, it's just 12 of each playlist, but in the playlist section you can see all the videos. And I also want to welcome you back to my love readings for Aries season that I will for Taurus season that I will perform in the end of March, and I'll also sprinkle out more near personal readings during the month. So until next time, take really good care, and bye bye.